welcome back to Yogaxpress. It's all about moving the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. We have been together 628 episodes since 2010. And I know for a fact, because I do receive some mail once in a while, to say that some of you have been with us in almost every episode, which is really wonderful. So it looks like you've been following us. I'd like you to stay there. We are now also announcing our tapings on Twitter. We will soon try and get all the episodes up on Facebook
YouTube.
and YouTube. And we will start posting on Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media you have out there. But I want you to help us out as well. So I want you to spread the word that this is a very short 28-minute walk-in wellness program, which means if you're a tourist, you're visiting New York, or you live here, it doesn't matter where you're from, could be from outer space, from space, moon, wherever.
Wow.
You are welcome to come into our studios, walk in with just an ID, and if you can, a yoga mat, and come and stretch with us. You will have amazing teachers like Chris Temple right here. Chris has been with us in several episodes before, and he was here a few weeks ago as well. Took me through a bit of a workout, which was a bit of a challenge for me, but I tried to soldier on because I really wanted to get the hang of your workout, Chris. And finally, I think I got there halfway, about 5-10 minutes into it, and I said, I know what you're up to. I know what you're trying to do.
I felt like you were strong. Yeah.
I was feeling very good at the end of it too. So just remember that when some workouts feel a little bit of a challenge at times, just hang in there. Don't give up on yourself, because that's what yoga is all about. You fall, you get up and you move on. You laugh it off, you move on. Just like our shows, we don't edit, by the way. So you come here, you make a mistake, that's okay. You fall, you fall out, you lose balance, you fall down, that's fine too. Just remember, just try. That's all we ask.
Just keep some pillows handy.
Keep some pillows,
That's
maybe
all.
a blanket if you want
Yeah,
to carry
couple
with you.
Cushions.
And cushions. But just know that we don't have props in the studio. So if you're used in the TV studio, if you're used to using a lot of props, you might want to just keep that in mind, that yoga believes the the dedicated practitioner actually acknowledges that our body can be our own prop. So we really don't need props. They're like training wheels. You only need props as long as your body really needs them. Once you get the hang of it, you don't really need props. Just like in real life, learn to be independent. On behalf of my crew, of our crew, Anthony Phillips, our technical director, we have our director, Akram Abiskarun, and our facilitator, Corey Bryce. We'd all like to welcome Chris Temple.
Thanks so much.
Once again, Chris, welcome back to the studio. Last time I recall, we touched a little bit about your thigh massage.
Mm-hmm. Thigh massage.
Thigh massage.
Thigh massage sounds like I'm rubbing people's thighs, which I actually do. But it's the whole body, not just the thighs. I mean, maybe that's somebody's specialty. I massage thighs.
I thought it was pronounced T-H. Isn't it thigh?
Thigh.
Thigh.
Yeah.
Thigh
Perhaps
massage.
there is just a little bit of thigh massage, but
thigh
not
massage.
quite thigh massage.
That's my Indian accent.
Yeah, no worries. It's all good.
Welcome back. But are there other talents about you before we get into the stretching? Are there other things we need to know about you before we move on?
No, I think you're safe.
What about the gorilla tattoo? Where's that?
Gorillas are very humble, noble, but powerful animals. So my spirit animal, so to speak.
Hey guys, in the control room, at some point when you see Chris flexing his muscle in the left arm, see if you can get a close-up of that gorilla.
You may not be able to tell me when I'm flexing, though. I'm just gonna really try to work.
Chris, I am all set to get
Okay,
another
we're
nice
actually going to
workout.
start standing up.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start standing up. Hit the ground running, as they say. So, you can just in some sort of fashion be standing with parallel feet. I think especially in the Western world, we have a tendency to kind of what we call pigeon the feet, but we want to make sure that we are as aligned in the feet as possible, which for you may mean that you keep your feet right underneath your hips. Some people, if their balance is a little off, they can take their feet a little wider, and if you're a regular practitioner, your feet can even be as close as big toes touch and heels slightly apart. So let's just take a moment here in our Samastitihi or mountain pose, just a nice tall stance at the front of your mat. And you can even close the eyes for a moment. Now, a lot of what we're doing today is working through balance. I have friends that do all sorts of athletic things, from skiing in the winter to hiking in the summer, riding the bike, which all require a certain element of balance. So basically what I came up with was something that all year round can work to help to ground and balance the body. So here we're just exploring what balance means, which we don't even know that we do it anymore, but balance is a constant movement. So as you're standing here at the front of the mat, notice how you are staying up, which if you really pay attention, you'll notice that the weight is constantly moving through the entire sole of the feet, sometimes forward, sometimes back, sometimes side to side. But just knowing that it is a constant movement, and when we explore more challenging balances, then we probably are going to move more. But we should know that movement isn't a bad thing. That's actually a good thing because it's needed. For example, we're on a moving planet, so we always must be moving. All right, now we can open the eyes, and then all we're going to do is take our first pose, which is going to be a version or variation of Utkatasana, which is a seated pose. So you can sit your hips down low. We don't even need to lift our hands up just yet, although if you feel like you want to, you can reach your arms up by your ears. But if it's too much on the shoulders for starters, we're going to be here again, so you can also have your hands down by your sides. From there, let's just come all the way up to stand, yes please. And then if you could, just lift your right knee up towards the chest. Now, if you're very comfortable with balancing, you'll lift it super high. Not so much, you'll leave it low, but you do want to get that foot off the ground. Nice. Now let's take our feet back together and sit down low again to the chair. Maybe this time you can take the arms up. And then as you exhale, we're going to come up to stand. And all we're going to do is take that opposite left knee up towards the chest, and you can take it high or you can leave the leg down low as you need to. All right, let's step feet together. Sit down low into your chair pose. We're going to keep this moving, and then come on up. Take the right knee up again, and if you feel like you have the space, you can reach down and give that knee a squeeze up into the chest. You might need to reach down to get it, but then try to stand up nice and tall when you get to the top. And if you fall out of it, no worries. You put the feet back down together. Let's all take them back down. And then again, we're going to come low into our chair pose. And then coming up high, we're going to draw the left knee up into the chest. Maybe reach down and get it. And give it a good solid squeeze. Now we're doing a lot here, right, Banu? Balancing like this requires all the muscles of the body. Let's take the feet back together. Sit low, sweep the arms up. And then we're going to take the right knee up as we come to stand. We're going to give that knee another squeeze in. And Banu, can we take it off to the side a little bit? You can keep holding on to the shin and just let that hip open to the side. Now draw the knee forward again. Maybe give one more squeeze into the chest. And then lower the feet together. Sit down low, Utkatasana. So we're just building onto the sequence as we go. As we come up again, left knee draws up into the chest. Maybe reach down, give it a squeeze, looking good. Can we take it open off to the side for the hip opener? It can stay low if you need it to. Yeah, you can take it up high if you can. And then take the knee back to center. One last squeeze. And then lower the feet down together. Let's just take a moment and stand. How'd that go for you, all right? Very challenging, no doubt. All right, we're going to move it off into some lunge poses. But I can't impress upon you enough that when we move through all of this stuff, the trick is breathe smooth. In Vinyasa Yoga, we tend to breathe with the movement, but the most important thing is that you keep breathing. So if you're struggling or whatever, just keep the breath fluid. You'll find your balance. And again, if you fall, that's why we have two legs. You got a leg to catch you with. All right, here we go. Bend the knees and sweep the arms up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Come on up. Right knee's going to come up into the chest. Reach down, give it a squeeze. And then take the knee up into the side. And then take it back to center. Here's where things are going to change. Squeeze it in a little bit. Now we're going to just kick that foot back behind us a little bit and lean the body forward. Reach your fingertips back towards the back heel. Now let's bend the standing leg way down and bring your hands to the ground. Try to land slowly and softly. Wow, that was super impressive. Step your right foot back to a lunge. And then line up your fingertips and toes. Now this foot can also be off to the side a little bit. If your rib cage is in the way, then you take the foot a little wider. You can keep it right underneath the chest as well. All right, looks good. So from here, we're gonna come into down dog split. We're just gonna swing that left leg all the way back to the sky. Bend the knee and open the hip to the side wall as you press through your right heel. And then re-straighten through the lifted leg. And then exhale, draw the knee again to the chest, and we'll step that foot right in between the hands. Again, fingertips and toes aligned. From here, high lunge. Arms are going to sweep up by the ears. Take your time. I know you're breathing nice and deep and full, and you can hear the breath a little bit against the back of the throat. All right, from there, let's take the hands by our hips, reaching the fingertips towards your back heel. Tilt your chest forward, about a 45-degree tilt, and then we're going to come onto the front leg again.
That's right.
Yes, you are. Cool. The toes can actually even stay down onto the ground if the balance is super tricky for you. Now let's try our big maneuver as we're going to exhale and try to bring the hands down to the ground, but lift the back leg. This is called standing split. Some people can take this leg way high up behind you. You take it as high as you can. See if you can rock the weight into the standing heel. So walk your hands back and bring the weight into the heel a little more, and then bring the weight into the front of the foot. And then let's bring the feet together at the front of the mat. They can be wide apart underneath the hips. Drop the head. Inhale, lift the hearts. And then exhale, drop your face down towards the shins. Reverse swan dive the arms all the way up and over your head. Big circle to the sky. And then draw your hands down to the heart. Nice job, Banu. Let's take a breath in center just to be. Maybe a sigh out the mouth. Yeah, I think we needed that. All right, next breath in. Let's bend the knees and sweep the arms up. Utkatasana, fierce pose. We're going to come up nice and slow and take the left knee up into the chest. Give it a squeeze when you get to the top. Keep the breath flowing. And then take the knee over to the side of the room, opening up the hip. Nice job. And then take it back to the front of the room and give it one last squeeze. You didn't know we were going to be in the circus today, did you? Now kick that heel back and just dip your chest slightly forward. My fingers are reaching back too because it emphasizes the length in the spine. And then we take a slow dive down to take the hands to the earth. Slower the better. Try to fight through the balance. And then we're going to step that left foot way back to a lunge at the back of the mat. All right, from here, down dog split. We got to wiggle that right foot to swing it back to the sky. Bend the knee and open the hip to the side wall as you press through your left heel. And then re-straighten through the lifted leg. Exhale, step that foot in between the hands. Cool, take a high lunge, sweep the arms up by the ears. Move in slowly, gracefully, peacefully. Take another breath. Exhale, swing your hands by your sides only. Fingertips reach towards the back heel. Lower your chest halfway down. Put a bend in the back knee, and then exhale, we'll slide onto the front leg. Again, my back toes are still on the ground, although if you're feeling more comfortable, we're going to lift the back leg up and let the chest dip a little bit lower. Take one more breath, Banu. And then exhale, hands to the ground. Try to keep the back leg lifted if you can. If it needs to come down, you take it down. From there, I'm just going to look at my top foot, the one in the sky, and I'm going to try to breathe it up just a little bit higher. All right, take your feet together at the front of the mat. And then on an inhale, lift your heart up halfway. And then on your exhale, release, forward fold. On the inhale, reverse swan dive the arms all the way up and over your head. Connect the palms. Exhale, take the hands down to the heart. How'd you do?
I feel good, but I know I messed up a little bit.
It doesn't matter. You know why?
Exactly. I like what you said. Just
Doesn't
get
matter. Because we're going to try it one more time.
Back.
Let's take the bend in the knees. We'll move. Don't worry, we'll move. Take the arms up. Take the right knee up into the chest as you come up. We're taking our time, but we're moving a little bit faster. Then open the knee to the sidewall. Keep the breath going. And then exhale, draw it back to the center. Give it another squeeze. Cool. The leg is going to spear back behind you. Reach your fingertips back and dip the chest down. And then step way back to a lunge and take the hands onto the ground. And go all the way down. Let's try our down dog split. You need to slide that left foot high and back to the sky. Bend the knee and open the hip to the side wall. Breathe the lifted leg straight and exhale. Step it right in between the hands. Boom. Nice. High lunge. Take your time. Take the arms up by the ears. Cool. Now we're just swinging the hands again by the hips. Lower the torso only halfway down. Take the weight onto the front leg and breathe in. Exhale, take your hands slowly down to the ground. Take that lifted leg just a little bit higher. And then step your feet together at the front of the mat. Nice job. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Forward fold. Take the arms all the way up and over your head. Connect the palms at the top. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Good thing is, we only have one more side to go. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Cool. Left knee's gonna draw up into the chest. Left knee up.
Helping. Practice is helping.
Give a squeeze. Yeah, absolutely. They say repetition is a form of mastery. Take the knee off to the side. Your right arm can use this counterbalance. Take the knee forward one more time. If you can, give it a squeeze. I'm wobbling too. It's cool. Kick that leg back behind you. Reach your fingers back and just dip the chest. All right, we're going to low lunge. So as the leg steps back, the hands go down to the ground, all the way down. Nice job. Right leg's going to swing back, down dog split. Bend the knee and open the hip to the side wall. Press through your left heel. Breathe the top leg straight, and then exhale, step it forward in between the hands. One more time, coming on up. High lunge. Breathe the arms up by the ears. Exhale, hinge forward, and take your hands by your hips. Little bend in the back knee. Breathe the weight forward. Back leg can stay on the ground, or if you can, dip the chest down, lift the leg a little higher. Take one more breath. And then take your hands down to the ground. Look at the lifted leg. Nice job. Take a breath. Step your feet together. Cool. From here, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Sweep the arms all the way up and over your head. Connect the palms. Take the hands down to the heart. All right, we made it. We're going to step our feet out wide.
I survived Chris.
So my heels are at the edges of the mat and my feet are out about 45-degree angle apart from one another. Let's take the hands to the heart. We're going to take a breath in, and then we're going to start to squat down low. Now, if you need to adjust the feet wider or anything like that, you can. And we're all just allowing the hips to open. You put a little pressure of the heart into the thumbs and the thumbs back into the hearts. Now, truth be told, this pose was made for pooping, right? So it's supposed to have that very grounded, rooted energy into the earth, but we don't want to collapse into it, right? We want to stay nice and lifted. So let's just close the eyes, soften the jaw.
Indian toilet style.
Indian toilet pose.
We do have toilets.
Yeah, when I was in Egypt, same thing. I was like, where is the toilet bowl? They're like, you're looking at it. Okay. Then I was looking for the toilet paper, and the kid selling tissues out in the street. I was supposed to talk to him first. I didn't know. Fortunately, I had friends on location. All right, we're going to take 2 more breaths here. Breathe in deep and full. All right, so now we're done balancing. Let's take our hands back behind you. Whoops, knocked your thingy down. And then we're going to sit down. Bring the soles of the feet together. Take the knees open wide like a book. Pull your heels in towards your groin. All right, we can tend the fingers out in front of you and take a little stroll. I like to call these my 5-legged spiders. So when I breathe in, the 5-legged spiders stop. When I breathe out, they go for a little walk. Maybe it's a big walk. And then breathe in. 8.
Oh.
Yeah, right? And then exhale. So if I'm thinking it as one spider, I'm 2 legs heavy. And if it's 2 separate spiders, I'm 3 legs short apiece. All the math I ever did is amounted to that. Veteran spiders. All right, let's take the chin down to the chest here. I'm a big fan of this stretch, as you know, Banu. It really pulls the spine all the way up to the skull. Yeah, by no means be fooled. It takes a while to get the flexibility in the hips, but I say a lot of times, when I'm king, being uncomfortable in yoga, we'll never have to be uncomfortable. It'll all feel amazing all times. But really, we have to be uncomfortable a little bit. And then when we're done, it feels oh so nice. All right, let's come up nice and slow. All right, so I'm just going to take this left shin and bring it out in front of me. Yeah, like so. And then I'm going to step the right foot out to the opposite side of that knee. Yeah, perfect. And then we're gonna wrap the left shin so it's opposite shin to knee. And then I'm taking my opposite hand back behind me, intented. I'm gonna turn sideways to the camera so people can see. Now the second hand can be used to help you sit up nice and tall, but optionally what I can do is reach that hand around completely and pull the shoulder back, and then I get a really deep shoulder stretch as well. Again, if you're looking for what I like to call extracurricular activities, nothing more than that. So let's look over the right shoulder, but do so more by turning your heart back than by cranking your neck. And we'll take 2 more slow, fluid breaths here. Sometimes it's good to put a little vibration into your exhale. One more time,
Needed
please.
that reminder to breathe.
Right? Well, that's why I do it. If I make noise, I know I have to be breathing. All right, so let's release that, and we're going to take the other side. So the right shin's out in front of us. Nice job. Left foot's going to step across. And then again, it's opposite forearm to shin. So if you ever get switched around, know that we're always doing the second side. So again, you can tent your left hand back behind you like Banu's doing, or you can see the opposite side. All I'm doing is reaching and trying to find my left hip crease. And then we'll look over the left shoulder. And then rather than cranking out the neck, what we're doing is trying to dial the chest back. So press into both butt cheeks and sit up tall. And then exhale to squeeze yourself out like a wet rag. We'll take that one more time, please. Deep inhale. And exhale to squeeze it out. So good. All right, let's release the twist. Place both feet out in front of you.
What is it that feels so good about a twist? Why does it?
Couple things. One, spine. The spine loves to twist, especially when we exhale, because when you exhale, you stretch in all the finite muscles around the very center of the back, rotaries, multifidus, and the semispinalis muscles. But also, if we're doing that stretch that we were just doing there, it feels like your butt, but it's actually the external hip rotators that connect from the sacrum to the, and we don't pull those enough unless we're in crazy twists like we were just in. All right, so let's do it's not even, I don't even want to say core work because it's not, but let's turn the palms forward and breathe up into the heart. And then with your exhale, we're going to round into the spine, and we're going to feel the sacrum on the ground first. Try not to speed up. I'm watching Banu. And then the lower back. And then the mid back. Banu, are you ignoring me? And then take the back of your head. All right, Banu, you stay right where you are.
I was almost afraid you'd say come back out.
No. I'm not that mean. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm not that mean. I'm giving the side view here. But we're going to walk the feet in close towards the butt, about hips width apart.
And I'm going to get head to the center.
Okay, cool.
Privacy.
All right, so, yeah, nice. All right, good stuff. And then all we're going to do is lift up the legs so my hips are high to the sky. I'm hugging my inner thighs just a little bit to keep my knees right over my heels. And then you can either put your palms on the ground underneath you, or if you want a little more stretch in the shoulders, you could interlace your fingers back underneath you. Then we walk the shoulders underneath even further, bringing the elbows closer together. And then we're just breathing. This is Setu Bandhasana bridge pose. Now, Banu, I want you to stay and just enjoy the stretch on your hip flexors and your belly. I'm going to take it up a level for anybody that wants to come along. So you can kick your right heel towards the sky, really energizing through the heel, pointing the toes right up and over your head, and flexing the toes back towards your face so you feel a stretch on the back of your calf. And then take that down nice and slow. And then the opposite side. Left leg's gonna fire up high to the sky. Flexing the toes back towards your face. Pointing the toes right up and over your head. One more big breath. And then exhale, release it down. Banu, take one more breath with me. And then exhale, release. Get your hands out from underneath you if they were interlaced. Squeeze the knees into the chest. And give a couple rocks around on the sacrum. Should feel really nice. Again, those same muscles we were talking about before that we were stretching out. When you really rock around on your sacrum, you give yourself a little self-massage. It's nice, right?
Yep.
All right, so now we're going to take this next pose in 2 different variations. Actually, a few different variations. Variation 1, we're practically in it already. I'm being mindful of the microphones here, which is I can just hug my shins in and call it a day there. If I'm happy and this feels like a good release in the body, I stay this far. If you want to go a little bit further than that, you're going to kick 2 heels up towards the sky. Now, ideally, we don't have to hold on to the legs. The legs support themselves. But if you need to, one is hold on to the legs. Also, alternatively, if I rock my right butt cheek, yeah.
3.
Nice. Right butt cheek over to the side. I can put the right hand underneath the right butt cheek, left butt cheek with the left hand. So now my legs are taking some of the weight, or sorry, my arms are taking some of the weight of the legs so that I can keep the legs high. How's that for you, all right,
That's
Bunny?
good, yeah.
You're still engaging the core, but sometimes it's a little too much for people. Now I'm gonna take this one more level up. I'd like you to stay right where you are, Banu. So I'm gonna take my hips over the shoulders, take my hands to the lower back, and then again I walk my elbows in towards the center line of the spine, and I'll start to kick my legs up to the sky. Now this is a more advanced posture. If your neck is bothering you, if you have any serious shoulder stuff going on, this is too much. You don't need to. Now one of the things I'm doing that you should not do is look around. So if you're watching this video, watch me and then take a break and then try it yourself. You don't want to keep looking around. So my hands are making sure to press my hips over the shoulders so I get a nice stretch on the back of the neck. And you can look up towards the big toes if you like, or you can close the eyes if you like. We're going to take a couple breaths here. Deep inhale, and exhale it nice and full. And then take another deep breath in, and exhale it nice and full. One more time. All right, so nice. So Banu, you can just hug your knees into the chest. I'm going to take my knees and touch them on top of my forehead. And then I might stay here, or if I have extra space, I'm going to take my toes up and over my head to touch the ground above me. This is called plow pose, and it is no joke, and it is a very hard pose to talk in. So I'm going to keep my dialogue to a minimum, but I'm pressing through my heels, keeping my toes tucked, and I'm actually increasing the stretch in the back of my neck. Slow, steady breaths. My hands can stay supporting my lower back like mine are right now, or if you want to get super fancy, you interlace your fingers much like we did before, and you'll bring your pinkies to touch the ground. So here too, let's take 3 breaths deep in, and a full exhale out, for 2, and a full exhale out, and one more time. And a full exhale out. So nice. All right. Now, be very careful coming down, especially if there's microphones right in front of you.